Hey guys, hope you guys are doing good on this beautiful day. I got another video for you. This video is kind of just based on some questions that I've been getting. One of the big ones is what's a good way to get currency? My answer to that is always Trials of Chaos, and I didn't really have a good quantifiable reason as to why, and now I'm bringing that to you. Obviously, I have my own personal experience based on my recollections and stuff like that, but I can't show that or share that with somebody. So that's why I'm making this video today. I did 50 trials. That's not an insane sample size, but it's something. It's a decent enough to give you an idea if you can or cannot make currency, right? What we're looking at here in this video is how much you can make, and that's going to be some RNG based on what fates you end up dropping, what soul cores you end up dropping. You might end up dropping more Dakotas than me. You might end up dropping less. So just keep that in mind. But this is going to give you a pretty good idea of how much you'll end up with if you invest some time into Trials of Chaos. Now, before we get into the rest of the video, I want to kind of go over how we're going to sum up all the costs of everything. So starting with gear we won't count in the total cost just because we can't convert it directly into currency. Some people might end up getting better drops. Some people might end up getting worse drops. Some people might drop an Astromantis. It's hard to give an actual average or an amount that you're going to get with something like that because it's so relative to your own experience, how much rarity you have, and things like that. Same thing goes for the jewels and the tablets and the additional like orbs, prisms, glass blowers, bauble, anything that isn't dropped by the end of the floor. I won't be calculated in the total cost. And I just wanted to do it that way because it'll be the most accurate way to look at purely drops from Trials of Chaos. If someone is coming in with no rarity on their gear, these are kind of very similar results that they should expect. Same thing if you're coming in with a lot of rarity, you can expect a little bit more, but nothing crazy. I'll note my rarity when we're going over the results so you guys can get a better idea, but I don't think it plays that much of a difference, especially when it comes to all the drops you get at the end of the floor. So without further ado, let's get into the numbers. So in order to keep all of the trials as similar and consistent as one another, I decided to do all level 80 ultimatums. This just made sure that every trial had the highest chance to drop items. Another thing that I was not doing as well was not doing any boss fights. They're simply not profitable, or you were stand to make very little profit unless you hit like a big jackpot. So I just didn't find that was worth it or worth the time. It's up to you if you want to flip your fates into keys and chances. That's up to you. The total trial took me 12 hours and 45 minutes. So this is just so you have an idea. I think most of you should be able to do a lot faster. I was reading Twitch chat, interacting with them, checking items. It's trading, so it wasn't as fast as it could be. So just keep that in mind. And then the last thing to note is that my rarity is 123% while doing all 50. If you didn't know, rarity does matter in the Trials of Chaos because with higher rarity they have a higher chance to drop better items. That's why I kept these. I didn't really get anything great, but I did want to note that, and that's another reason why I didn't want to count items into the total cost, because even if you have 0 rarity, you should still be getting a similar amount of soul cores, fates, and currency. Now that we got the rules and all the political stuff out of the way, let's get into the dopamine and why we're all here. So to start, I'll be going over the fates first, then the soul cores, then the currencies, just to keep it kind of organized, and then I'll give you guys a grand sum total at the end of it. So to start, for a victorious fate, we got 9. They're valued at 7 exalt for a total of 63. For cowardly fates, we got 21 at the cost of 10x for a total of 210. And last, the deadly fate, which we got 20 of at 34 apiece for 680x total. And the 3 fates altogether add up to 953 total exalts. Now I do want a disclaimer that these prices are based off yesterday's market when I started the video. So keep that in mind. So there might be a slight plus or minus on the margin, but it's very negligible. For the soul cores, we're going to back out of this menu so we can make it look a little nicer. For the soul cores, I'm not going to be going over every single one. I'm only going to be going over the ones that resulted in over 100 exalt total. I will include all of them in an Excel screenshot that will pop up on the screen as I read the numbers to you guys. And then, like I said, at the end of the video, we'll tally it all up and we'll do the numbers as to how many divines we're making per hour. So starting out with the Citaqualatl, hopefully I'm pronouncing these right. We had 24 at 11.5x for 276 exalt total. Takati, we had 25 at 17 eggs a piece for 425 eggs total. The Jaquani, we had 9, but they're 95 exalt a piece, and they came out to 855, which is one of our biggest ones. The Opalati, we had 27 at 8 a piece for 216 total. The Topatante, we had 24 of at 9.5 a piece for 228 total. And then the last one is the Takabe. We had 4 total for 225 a piece for 900 total exalt. Overall, with all of the soul cores put together, even the ones that I didn't list, I'll put them all on the screen. They came out to 3,204 total exalts, which roughly converts to 12.8 divines. And this is at 250 to 1 ratio for divines. For currency, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to go ahead and pop the Excel sheet on the screen and give you guys kind of our biggest profit from there, which was Chaos Orbs. We got 78 for a total of 936 exalts. And then we had 144 exalts, which just there's no conversion to that. Altogether, we had a total of 1,134 exalt in currency total, which converted to the previous ratio is about 4.5 divines. And that pretty much wraps up all the currencies. Now for the main part of the video, what most of you guys are probably here to see, what is the grand total of divines per hour and the grand total of exalts and divines we made. Altogether, we made about 5,291 exalts, which when converted at 250 to 1 ratio, which when converted is about 21.2 divines. Now, if we take that and divide that by our time, which is 12 hours and 45 minutes, our total divs per hour comes out to 1.655 or 1.66, however you want to round it up. Overall, I think this was an okay run. I think I got pretty unlucky in some aspects. I think most people will drop at least 1 divine from the currency tab, but unfortunately I didn't get one. So it's all kind of random, but I think this is a good example of the worst case scenario, if I'm being honest, and the worst case of drops, and you still end up making around 21 divines. Whether 1.65 divines an hour is worth it, that's kind of up to you. Depends on what point you are in the game. Early on, this is a great method for making money. When you don't have your maps juice, when you don't have your character fully built out, and you're looking to get guaranteed money for the time that you put in. So yeah, do you want to be grinding the Trials of Chaos for divs? Absolutely. It's a guaranteed method to at least getting 1.5, 1.6 divs an hour. For me, I wasn't doing it as optimal as possible. I think you guys can cut the time down to about 10.5, 11 hours, which would make those divs higher. But again, it's all up to you. If you feel like that's worth it, I'm just here to give you guys the numbers and show you guys what my results yielded, and give you guys my opinion on it. In the future, I will continue to do more trials, and I'll continue to record, and kind of maybe every 50 or every 100 from here on out, I'll make a video and kind of give you guys an update on what's going on and if they're still worthwhile doing. As of now, I would highly recommend it, especially if you're newer into maps and you have no way to make currency. This is going to be your guaranteed money maker. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. This video took me a good while to make. It took me about 3-4 days to farm all the chaos trials and record everything, cut all the clips, record the sound bites, cut everything. It took me a very long time and took me a lot of hard work. So if you guys found this video helpful, feel free to subscribe to the channel and throw a like. It goes a long way. It shows me that I'm doing the right stuff. I don't want to just keep throwing out useless information. I genuinely want to put in good amount of work and give you guys information that you can use to make your guys' life easier in POE2. Because yeah, it's all relative. And yeah, if you have more time, you're going to make more. If you don't, you need to do the most you can with the time you have. And I think Chaos Trials is a good way to do it. If you guys want to see more content, be sure to follow me over on Twitch. The link is in the description. I stream every night around 9, 10 MST, and we stream for about 6 to 8 hours every night. We have fun. We interact with viewers. We do hardcore runs. We do 6-man hardcore runs. We do boss carries, the whole shebang. Anyways, that's a little too much rambling. I hope you guys found the video helpful. Stay tuned for the next one. Should be out pretty soon. Peace out.